Hi, it's Gary. Welcome to today's video. Today, fountain pen focus day. We're going to focus on the Pilot E95S. Nice little pen, gold nibbed pen. Join me now down on the mat. We'll take a look at the pen, we'll do some size comparisons, weights and measures, a writing sample, then I'll give you my thoughts and some scores for this pen. Welcome down to the table. Here we've got the Pilot E95S, some places called the Pilot Elite. It's a smallish pen, isn't it? It's a bit on the large side for a pocket pen, but certainly it's not a full-size pen. Let's start though by taking a walk through the body. We'll start at the top. So we've got a fairly flat top there. It does feel like there may be a little bit of a dome to it. We'll then come down into the cap. We've got this gorgeous silver colour. I think they try and call it champagne. I don't know, it doesn't look like champagne to me. We've got this gold coloured ring and then this gold coloured clip. The clip, I can't even get my fingers into it. I find it very hard. I don't use it so it doesn't bother me. The cap, we're tapering out till we get to just below the clip. Then we straighten out until we get to this ring here. So we've got a stylized E, then we've got this gold colouring. Pilot Japan, and some more there, gold colouring. It feels very smooth, there's no real difference. The bottom of the cap, there feels like there's a little bit of a lip here. We jump over the lip into this very small body, which tapers out straight away. This is in burgundy colour. Then we've got a flat bottom there. Very nice, simple looking pen. I love the way it looks. It looks nice and simple. The cap pulls off. So we pull it off. I'm only going to fetch it up to about here. You see there the section part of it. That's all that same burgundy colour. And then we eventually reveal this inlaid nib. So here's the nib. Doesn't that look small? It's nearly the same length as the cap. This pen though is designed to be posted. When you post it, you get a very, very nice size pen to write with. Taking a look at the nib. So this is an inlaid nib. We've got at the top, we've got 14K585, Pilot, medium, Japan. Then we've got the letter P and 3 numbers. You can use that to determine where the nib was made and when it was made. Very simple looking, very nice, elegant looking unit. This pen is a cartridge converter. So I'm taking off here. It did come with a cartridge. The problem with the cartridge was this is actually quite deep where this fits in. So when you put the cartridge in, you couldn't actually see the ink level. What you could see is just the top of the twisting part of it. So what I do is I actually use a cartridge, which I just refill that with ink. I use a blunt nose syringe and put in whatever ink that I want to use. I find that works really, really well. Let's pop this all back together. And let's swap on over and we'll do some size comparisons. My standard size comparisons, Pilot Metropolitan, Lamy Safari. We expect them to be larger than this when we've got the cap on it. Remember, this is meant to be like a pocket pen, although as I say, it is a bit large for a pocket pen. Let's take the caps off and then show these pens as I would use them if I was writing. With the pens set in their writing positions, this is where you can see, as I was saying, that Pilot E95S, the Pilot Elite, very nice size, very comfortable size. It's got a gorgeous length to it. As you see, far longer than both of these. Remember though, these two are unposted. This one, because of the nature of the pen, has to be used posted. Let's swap on over and look at some pens in roughly the same price range. The pens I've brought in. Now War Nautilus, steel nib, 196 Aussie dollars. The Pilot E95S, 195 Aussie dollars. The Platinum 3776 Century, when I bought this, 200 Aussie dollars, also got a 14 karat gold nib. I've brought these in as I use them. I do need to use the Platinum posted as well. Let's pop the caps on these. With the caps on, that E95S, already looks tiny, doesn't it? But just look at it next to this narwhal. Look how wide the narwhal is and the thinness of that E95S. And sometimes that thinness, it can impact the feel of writing, because I find it just feels a bit too thin at times and makes my fingers ache a little bit. Let's swap on over and fetch in the rule of measuring. So the total length of the pen when it's got its cap on it, that comes in at 11.8 centimetres. Unposted, wouldn't recommend it using unposted. You can maybe for a couple of words, 10.5 centimetres. For post-it, here we're coming in at 14.7 centimetres. The body, so I'm measuring the body here, that comes in at 1.2 centimetres. The cap, measuring at the bottom, 1.27 centimetres. And then what I've done with the section, I've measured from just here, just near the top of that embossed part of the nib, 0.5 centimetres, going up to 1.15 centimetres. So not an overly thin section, but you can feel thinness to it. We'll swap over and fetch in the scales of weighing. Here's the scales of weighing. Full pen, remember we do have some ink in there. 15 grams, fairly light, isn't it? 10 grams on the body, 5 grams there on the cap. Let's swap on over and fetch in the notepad of testing. Just dropping in to interrupt your regular programming. Would you like to help support the channel? If so, please consider joining as a member. As a member, you'll get early access to my videos. I normally upload them a couple of days before they go out, and as soon as they're uploaded, they'll be released to members. There'll also be a shout out at the end of the videos, and then as we get the members coming in, we'll actually chat among ourselves and work out what other perks, what other things you'd like me to add in. You know, would you like maybe a monthly live chat just for members? All down to us. So please, if you can, consider joining the channel. A link will be in the description down below. Here we've got the notepad of testing. This is our huge paper. It's an A4 notebook, 100 GSM paper, nice fountain pen friendly paper. Slight bit of texture, so if you run your finger over, you can feel the texture on it. I do find this is really nice with my fountain pens, and the paper got a slight creaminess colour to it. So let's get going. Remember the pen designed to be posted. So I've got here a Pilot E95S. It's got a medium nib and it's 14 karat gold. Price wise, 195 Aussie dollars. The ink is by Diamine and it's Ancient Copper. I actually quite like the colour of this ink in this pen. It comes out really nice. As you can see, we've got some nice shading coming through as well. Drying times. So we go immediate. 10 seconds. 30 seconds. Nearly dry there. 1 minute. Yep, after a minute, as we expected, that's nice and dry. Let's move the mic down to the page so we can hear the pen write. Very nice. Not a lot of feedback. It's not smooth. You can definitely feel your writing. You can hear your writing, but it's fairly quiet. It's like a bit like it's going shh. And very descriptive, isn't it? We can see, I do see some shading coming through. I like this ink in this pen. I may keep this ink in this pen for quite a while because I'm quite enjoying it as a combo. Final test, how does it flow? So this is going forward. Remember, A4 notebook. And then this is going backwards. Good ink flow. Really had no problems with this. Had loads of different inks in here. Had no issues with any of them. The only ink I wouldn't consider putting in here, I've got to be honest, is shimmer inks. If there was a blockage to happen, this would be a bit of a pain to clean. So ink-wise, I just use standard, maybe the occasional sheen in ink. So what are my thoughts and scores for this pen? Let's start with pen looks. It's elegant, it's simple, it's very nice to look at, it's very nice to hold, not overly heavy. It looks really nice. As I say, this is like meant to be champagne and burgundy. I think it looks quite pretty. Pen looks, because of that elegance, because of that simplicity, 9 out of 10. Build quality, didn't expect any issues, haven't had them. You know, we're talking about a high quality Japanese maker here. The threads work nicely, the cap pops on and off very easy. You got a nice little, feels like getting a bit of friction there as it holds on. Build quality, no problems, 8 out of 10. Writing experience, absolutely love it. It's not as soft as some of my other Pilot nibs, but it's certainly not as stiff as a Platinum or a Sailor nib. It's got this nice little bounce to it. You can feel it as you're writing. We get a nice line. It's a nice broad medium. I know it sounds broad medium, a bit weird there. Nice generous line though that I see from this. So for writing experience, I'm going to give that a 9 out of 10. Ink flow. So what I'm doing here, this is Tomoe River 52 GSM, Pilot E95S, Diamine Ancient Copper. You know, saying here, I was a bit surprised. It was the first time I've used this ink in this pen, but I love the combo. Nib, I say it's got nice feedback to it. Doesn't feel like it's dragging on the page. Doesn't feel like it's overly soft. It's just nice. It just writes really well. It's as if the pen is vanishing when you're writing, so you can concentrate on what you're meant to be thinking about, not about actually getting it down onto the paper. I've seen some shading in here, but I would like to have seen more, but that's just me being very picky. One thing, hard to show here, but when I'm using this, I end up with ink on my finger. I think what happens, because of the way the section is here, we do get a little bit of ink leakage. So when I'm writing, I end up with ink patched around here. But other than that, absolutely no issues. So for ink flow, 8 out of 10. Comfort, does feel a bit thin. You've got to use it posted. Lengthwise feels perfect. It just feels, say, a bit on that thin side. A little bit wider would have been perfect for me. I've got large hands though, so I'm being very, very picky. Writes really well though, feels nice. As I say, it virtually vanishes in your hand when you're writing. So for comfort, 8 out of 10. Value for money. It is not a cheap pen. As far as I'm aware, this is one of the cheapest gold-nibbed Japanese pens though. My other cheapest one is about $300. This one, $195. It's a nice looking pen. It's a nice writing pen. It's enjoyable to use. It vanishes. Got a nice line. $195 though. Got to bear that in mind. Value for money, 8 out of 10. So that means the total score for the Pilot E95S and Diamine Ancient Copper is 8.33 out of 10. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. What are your thoughts on the Pilot E95S? Have you got one? Have you got the Elite model maybe? Love to get people's ideas. Please drop any comments down below. Let's kickstart the conversation. Please hit the thumbs up button. Every time you like, every time you comment, just helps with the YouTube algorithm. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel so that you can get new videos as I release them. I'll talk to you again soon.